My computer's been really good lately, but I'm afraid I'm going to be moving today. It's good as long as I don't move. But I'm going to be moving today, and I'm afraid I'll lose my sense. So, put the ears on today. But let's start our lesson with a word of prayer, okay? Father, thank you for your goodness in each one of our students. Thank you for the big person helping today. Give that person a special blessing. Help the kids to cooperate and work hard. We ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, let's start with our verses. Proverbs 12:22. Lying lips are abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight. How about we all stand up and say our verses together, okay? Proverbs 23:26. My son, give me thine heart. Oops. And Matthew 6:24. No man can serve two masters. Oh, Psalm 118:1. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good. Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks unto the Lord. Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks unto the Lord. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good. P, Psalm 147:1. Praise ye the Lord, for it is good to sing praises unto our God. This week's verse is Philippians 4:13 on confidence. I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. Two more times, please. I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. One more time, please. I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. Let's sing our song, okay? I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. Day by day, hour by hour, I am kept in his power. I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. Okay, can I have a seat? We're talking about having confidence. And yesterday we talked about being afraid to try new things or things in school because you can't do it very well. You're afraid that other people might laugh at you. There are a lot of things in life that some people are afraid to try. Maybe kids are outside playing a game and they say, you want to play? No, because it looks hard or whatever, right? What happens in life, there's some people like this, not some people no. But some people know how to do this many things. And they can't do a lot of things, but they can do them well, and they have confidence doing those things. But somebody tries to get them to do something else. It's like they're afraid that they can't do it, and people will laugh. Everybody else can do it, but I can't. So what do? They don't try it. Math is like that. When students come to Yoga Solar from other schools, they can't do math, and they're really scared about it. But then they come here and we teach them how it works, and then they love it. But before, they always hated it because it didn't make any sense. They didn't have anybody to teach it. But here's what you need to do. When you see somebody doing something that looks like fun, but it looks like it's hard, you know what you can do? You can say, could you show me how to do that? And then work with it. But what happens, some students say, oh, I can do that, I can do it by myself. And they want to do it, but they're not willing to follow directions and have somebody show them the right way. I have games at my house, and I'll ask children, can you play this game? Oh, yes. They can't. And they don't want to listen to directions because then they don't understand it. Rather than having me show them how to play that game and have lots of fun, they try to play it themselves, and then it's boring, and then they break it. They rip it up, break it, mess it up because they don't know the right way to play the game. Okay, so what you need to do is this. If you see somebody doing something that looks like they're having fun, say, will you teach me? And what do? Your circle gets a little bigger, right? There's more things that you can do. And more people that you meet and more friends, right? And then you see, and then you make more friends, and then those friends have things that they do that you've never seen before. Or maybe food that they eat that you've never eaten before. And you say, oh, will you show me? And then what happens? Then you can do more things, right? And you get more opportunities. You get to go more places, right? Lots and lots of things. And then you meet more people. And then they have cool stuff that they do. And they teach you all sorts of cool things. And the more you are, look, before, some people are happy, just this little fun here. And they miss their whole life learning and learning and learning. When I first moved to this island, I met a woman who lived real close to where our school is. And she said before she got married, as far as she had ever been was from here to Bojangles. That's it. Here to Bojangles. And never been past Bojangles. And never been up to the airport or Oak Ridge or French Harbor. Never been anywhere. Just here and there. Big, wide world. But even just the island, there's lots of cool stuff on the island to see and do. Never done any of it. And she was happy. I have my little friends here. I go to school. I have my little friends. I do these things. But that was it. Nothing more. She was missing out on so much. See, and that's where books are really cool too. What books can do, books will take you to places that you've never been. So we have books on the shelf, and you look in those books and say, wow, look at this. Wow, look at that. That would be a fun thing to do, or that would be a neat place to go. I'll probably never get to go there or do that, but that would be really interesting. And you can learn all sorts of really cool things. When I was in school, the United States has lots of really cool stuff, but we were very, very poor, and we didn't get to go or do things. And my dad had to work a whole lot. And I lived all the way on one side of the country, like over here, and the cool stuff was out in this part of the country. Knew I'd never get there. But then I got all grown up. I would read about those things. I'd read about things all over the world. And I remember reading about the Inca Indians in Peru and thinking, wow, if I could go to Machu Picchu, which was where their civilization was, but that would be the coolest thing. I knew I'd never go, but it would be cool to get to go. I studied about them. I wrote a big, big, big paper, 20-page paper in school for it, all about them. Very interesting. I spent my whole Semana Santa studying about these Indians. And then I got grown up, and when I finished school, I went to Peru. And when I went, they opened up, for the first time, they had airplanes that went to Machu Picchu, where I always wanted to go from the time I was in school. I didn't have the money, and I didn't have the time, and I couldn't go. But it was just amazing. I was so close. Time passed. I got bigger, and we studied, and I got married, and Mr. Mark and I went all sorts of places, and we took our children all over the United States. And all those things that I read about as a child that I knew I would never get to see, I got to see. And Mickey Mouse, I got to go see Mickey Mouse. That was the coolest thing in all the world to me. I mean, here I was grown up with 3 little children of my own, and I got to see Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, and that was the coolest thing for me, because as a little child, he lived all the way on the other side of the country, and I knew I'd never get to go there, but I did. Same with Mr. Mark. And as we drove in there, it's like, wow, this is so cool. We got to see all the cool stuff in the United States. There's only one thing that we didn't get to see that I wanted to see, but when we were there, they were having fires, and we couldn't go in to see that one part. But I've gotten to see all sorts of really, really, really cool stuff. And then we went to different countries. And I've been to many countries. And you know what? Seen many, many things. I didn't get to go to Machu Picchu, but I got to go to Mexico to see things like similar to that. And I went here in Honduras to see the Mayan ruins 2 times. 2 times. See, I've gotten to do lots of things that I read about in books. That if I hadn't read about them and studied, I never would have known they were there, and then I never would have gotten to go there and seen such really, really cool stuff. I have seen some of the coolest things and learned some of the neatest things you just can't imagine. But even now, I still study. Every day I study. You study? I study, I read, but I also study, and I learn things, and I write books, and I do all sorts of stuff. Why? Because you should never stop learning to read. But I'm not afraid. Why? I say, I can do this. When I read stuff I don't understand, I read it again, and I read it again, and I read it again. Why? I say, God gave me a brain. I can figure this out. And then I understand. It's like, this is so cool. This is so cool. So, what's the lesson? We go to school to learn, right? But there are opportunities all around. So things in school to learn. There are friends in your neighborhood that you can learn from. Kids all over the place have big people, things. Ask your mom to teach you how to cook, how to make tortillas, right? You can ask your mom to teach you all sorts of stuff, or your tia, or big people have all sorts of things that they can teach you if you ask. If they can do something and say, that looks interesting, will you teach me? Do you think they'll do it? If you are patient, and if you don't give up, oh, that's too hard, okay, forget that. No, if they're willing to teach you to cook, or to sew, or to whatever it is that they do, make tortillas. I can't make tortillas. Mine are very ugly. I mean, I can make them, but they're not pretty, right? You can get some. Miss Lily makes beautiful, Miss Lily's tortillas. But I just haven't had the time to work with somebody, right? So what do you need to do? Anything out there, you ask somebody, could you show me? So that what? So that you have all this cool stuff that you can do, right? And the more you learn, the more you say, wow, I learned that. I can learn this. Well, if I learned that, I can learn this, right? It will give you self-confidence. I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. He gives you a brain. Use it. Use that brain that God's giving you. Don't give up when it's hard. Just try again. Try again. Try again. Try again and again and again and again and again till you get it. Our verse for this month, Philippians 4:13. Let's stand up and say it 3 times, please. I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me. I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me. One more time. I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me. I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me. I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me. Day by day, hour by hour, I am kept in his power. I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me.